Hey, what's going on, guys? The Bearded Baron bringing you guys another Dead by Daylight video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the mind games. That's right. I'm going to showcase to you guys how you can beat any killer in Dead by Daylight, regardless of the map, regardless of what perks that you bring, regardless of what the killer is. So stay tuned. This is probably the biggest question I get asked on my Twitch live streams all the time, and a lot of times it has to do when I'm running either a nurse or a spirit. Now, this video is not going to showcase specifically how to go against those killers, but instead it's going to be showcasing on how to get into the mindset of the killer, how to really start to mess with them, and then be able to use that to your advantage later on in the match. Now, the easiest way to get into the mindset of the killer is to play the killer himself. Now, if you haven't played killer before, I do recommend that you at least try it out so you can at least see the viewpoints, hear what the killer hears, see the scratch marks that the killer sees, and get a basic understanding of what the advantages and disadvantages of each killer is. Having this baseline knowledge about each killer will not only make you a better killer overall, but it will also make you a better survivor, because you'll be able to understand what the killer is looking for, and then as a survivor, you'll be able to use that information against them. In this example, you can see here, I tuck into a corner because I know that the killers most of the time are looking for movement. So I'm able to get away, and I'm able to continue on with the match. Now, this next section is called the classical conditioning. This is actually a psychological effect when two stimuli are repeatedly paired. We see this a lot in video games, but especially in Dead by Daylight, this can be utilized to get into the mindset of the killer to really start to play some mind games with him. For this example, we can see here with the ghost face, I'm able to loop this ghost face around this pallet, and I fake vaulting the pallet. Now he swings and he misses, so in his mind, the next time that we go to do this same kind of pallet loop, this time I actually vault over the pallet, and he misses because he hesitates on swinging on me, thus being able to extend the chase. This can be used with any killer in Dead by Daylight. It doesn't matter what killer it is. Every single killer, as long as you can get into the mindset of the individual and understand the killers themselves to know what the advantages and disadvantages are, you will be able to juke them every single time. You'll be able to break chase every single time and survive much more frequently. Now, a lot of pro players in Dead by Daylight actually reference fighting games when talking about mind games. Now, the reason for this is because you don't expect a player to use the same moves over and over and over again. However, if you watch closely, any move that you don't understand where it's coming from or how you're being hit, you better believe that it's going to be followed up several times. Here's a classic example of this.
Phenom at just the right time. Here we go. Command throw. Another command throw.
Oh boy, I feel like this is something
Another
Phenom loves to do. The fourth one, you never know.
Yes, there it is. The fourth one.
The next kind of psychology that comes into play is what's known as an operant conditioning, otherwise referred to as an instrumental conditioning. This is a method of learning that occurs through rewards and punishments. In this example, we can see this pigeon here that's actually being trained to turn in order to receive a treat. This is no different in Dead by Daylight. Survivors and killers alike are trained to watch for certain things during gameplay. Killers themselves are trained to listen for sounds. They're trained to look for scratch marks, for movement. Survivors are trained to listen for the heartbeat, terror radius, to look to see if another survivor has been down or is injured recently, to hear cries of fellow survivors. All of these things culminate into a match that you can use as an advantage to flip the script on a killer or a survivor, for that matter, during a match. All right, the last thing I'd like to touch on is map awareness. Now, this is probably going to take you the most amount of time to nail down because there are a lot of maps in Dead by Daylight, and two, even if you were to get the same map back to back, there's no guarantee that it would be exactly the same because of the tile placement varies depending on the match. With that being said, once you have that base understanding of map awareness, you can start to use that as an advantage for yourself to know that a window is coming up. There's a pallet around the bend. There is a possible mind game opportunity that I can utilize just around the corner or be able to get to extend the chase or be able to get out of the match against a killer. All right, guys, that's my video. Did I miss anything? Let me know in the comment section below. Also, if you'd like to check me out during my live streams, I do stream every Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And be sure to smash that subscription icon and turn on that notification bell so that way you guys know when I make more content for you. And I'll see you next time.